Well, hey there, it's that coding guy here, bringing it down and making it accessible. In my last video on commits, we talked about never having too many commits, thinking about commits as save points in a video game, where if you have a bunch of save points and then you go fight the big bad boss and you don't do so well, you can always revert back to your save point and take another shot. So in this video, we're going to talk about how to do that using a command called git reset. And we'll perform a little bit of git surgery to give us some flexibility in our work. The situation is that I've got this git demo directory here. I've got files 1 and 2, 4, 5, and 6. 3 is hanging out in this folder. Don't worry about it. It's fine. And I am in a clean working state. I'll show you my git status. Nothing up this sleeve. And I'll show you a git log where I've got my first commit that added files 1, 2, and 3 in one shot. And then I've got one file or one commit each for these 3 files. One commit for file 4, one for file 5, and one for file 6. In my previous video, we talked about commits having a unique identifier. So if we want to roll back, we'll need one of those guys. So I'm in a hypothetical situation where I want to get back to a point in time where this is the last commit on my project. And I want these 2 commits to go away and never come back. So what we can do is a couple of things. We could grab this entire identifier and drag over it to put that in my copy paste buffer. And we could say git reset and paste that in. Or, since these are mostly unique in a project, we could probably get away with something like the first 6 characters. So if I go to do git reset 2cf5dd, hit enter, either way we go there, we'll be all right. Nothing magical happens to tell me that this actually worked, but I didn't get an error either. So now if I do a git status, I see that those 2 files have been untracked. They're no longer committed. They're not staged for commit. They are untracked. I'm dirty. And if I do a git log, I see that I am indeed back in a position where that was my last commit, and that's exactly what I wanted. But now I've still got these files as they were hanging out in my untracked history. So what I could do is, and actually what I probably should have done is started on a branch. So I'll check out to a new branch here. We'll call it my feature branch. And that stuff came with me. I'm still dirty. We'll pretend I was here all the time, okay? What I could do, I've got a couple of options. I could force push. I could force push these commits to the remote of my feature branch. And that means, if you're not familiar with force push, that whatever the commit history is on my remote, I'm going to replace it with what I've got right here with these 2 commits. It's very destructive. Wouldn't recommend it unless you're absolutely sure, because if you don't have that work hanging out anywhere else, it's going to be gone, not recoverable. So you better be darn sure if you're going to do a force push. The other option would be to just create a copy of a branch. And so we could just create a copy of my feature branch, just create a new branch, and push that up to the remote, and then use that as your new feature branch. However, I will show you how to get rid of these tracked files. One way that I have just gotten used to doing is doing a reset hard, but because reset hard only deals with tracked files, and these are not tracked, my trick is to do a git add dot and git reset dash dash hard. And that will blow those guys away. Again, you can't recover those because they're toast, so you better be sure. And just to demonstrate, if I do that, run a git status, those guys are gone. Those files have disappeared from my directory. So if you had wanted to, you could definitely have run git add dot on its own and then have run git reset dash dash hard on its own afterward. Cool. But you can chain commands together with and that can be pretty handy sometimes. So that's cool if you didn't know. So there we go. Those, I guess my advice is that no matter what you've done in Git, there's probably a way out. And this is a handy command to help you get yourself out of a jam. But it's only useful if you're creating, if you have the commits there. You can't reset back to a commit that you don't have. So create those commits. If you get something working after a struggle, commit it. If you're still struggling after a couple of hours, commit it. Push it. Commit and push. Get those up there on the remote nice and safe. And then when you need to, you've got options to get yourself out of whatever jam you got yourself into. So hopefully these are helpful to you. And hey, if they are, shoot me a like, throw me a comment that said that you got something out of this. Subscribe if you haven't. When I see people interact and things like that, it helps me know that people are out there, they're watching, and it's being helpful to them. So we definitely appreciate that. Hope these help. Good luck. Cheers.